Hey guys, and welcome back to my first playthrough of Dark Souls 2. I had to say that one more time. I know we're not playing the game technically, but we are today watching VaatiVidya's videos, a wifey not first, on the lore of Dark Souls 2, which should be a nice breakdown. I think I pieced together, maybe not all that I could, but a lot. Hey Wugs, hope you're well. Hey, thanks Cecile. Second, almost Jagras. Hey guys. Third, Evie, almost. Matthew, good to see you. Tigro, good to see you. Queth, last. Well, the six of you, we're about to... Bees? Hey, Punch, hey, good to see you. Tuck, Thrash, good to see you. We're reacting to lore and Happy Souls. By the way, we'll react to that as well, because I got many a request for a reaction to Happy Souls. 2 days in a row, it's Christmas. Hey, Wugs. Hey, Edsfro, how's it going? Yeah, I'm excited. With Dark Souls 1, it was really a game of, I have no idea what's going on, please tell me. With Dark Souls 2, it's actually more a game of how much did I find and how much did I get right. Did you try DS3 yet? If so, thoughts? Yes, and I can't say. I'm gonna save it for next week. But it's fucking awesome. I finally made a stream. Sorry for being MIA. Hey, no worries, Flubba. No worries. Extreme Peanut, good to see you. Big House, good to see you. Hi, streamer. Hi, Trudy. Yaddles, the board. The board's not so much in all their glory as they were before, but still there. I brought them in just in case we need to reference them. Hey, Hasi. Congrats on 4K subs. Thank you. Good to see you. Casey, good to see you. Wuggy, we are here. Cookie, good to see you. Butters, Calvin, One Freeway. What's up? Nothing much, dude. How about you? CJ, Butters, good to see you. 90 minutes left at work. Hey, good luck. Let's go. Well, so what I found here is I found a playlist for VaatiVidya, and then I only saw the start of it. She cooked. Oh, did Summer make it? Oh, you're gonna have to see, dude. It was an amazing stream. What I found here was a playlist from VaatiVidya for the Dark Souls 2 Prepare to Cry, but when I typed in VaatiVidya, there were other videos as well that aren't included in this playlist, so I figured I'd go through a playlist. I'm watching, I'm tattooing and watching. I don't know about that, dude. Get the tissues ready, friends. Hey, Artem, good to see you. Let's go. Hey, John, good to see you. All right, so hold on. Let's get this ready. So, there you are. And the chat's working. Nice. So, yeah, this is what I found. And it has these... Oh, you can't see it because I'm blocking it, but it has videos, 7 videos. It's Prepare to Cry trailer, Sin, Alon, the Raven and Royal Aegis, the Ivory King, Lucatiel, and the Archdrake Sect. So let's do this. Let's watch some lore. Only 4 tabs. Love to see it. Yeah, I brought down the tab game for a little bit. Hey, Wugs, first stream I have caught. 12:30 YM. Going to be a late one. Hey, Frost, sorry about that. But good to see you here. PR, good to see you. So let's start with this, and then we'll probably find stragglers here and there on just like looking it up on YouTube. And maybe you guys can suggest some if you really light mode YouTube. I just got flashbanged. I'm sorry. These are all good ones. They are a little more fanficky than the current Vaati stuff. Okay. Or Vaati stuff, sorry. I already know all the lore about DS2. No need for vid. Thanks, Nico. But I do like the way Vaati presents it, so I am a big fan. Peace out, y'all. Avoiding spoilers. Hey, Trudy. I appreciate you saying hello, but I definitely understand. All right. Let's see the trailer at least.
Everything ends. Even the brightest bonfire will fade to embers. We've all seen that before. Embers holding on to a fragile flame. You had a life before this. There was a woman, a home, a child.
Oh, damn.
A curse.
True.
Your woman, your home, your child, right?
My woman.
What happened to them?
Okay.
You don't remember.
These are all questions.
What you
I've
do
never
remember
asked.
is the curse. You struggle against it, but it consumes you,
Might be a little
and you
loud.
experience death. And in death, you dream. You dream of a lost kingdom. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. Then you
Okay.
live once again. Who were you before you died? When did you get to this forest? Doesn't matter, push on. But you're
Okay.
tired. So tired. Now, all you remember is that your memory is fading. But wasn't there something else? There were important memories. They were everything to you. Now they've melted away, and you're agonized by their loss. You're aggrieved by this curse.
Damn.
And so you throw away everything you used to be, and gain a new purpose. Discover the origins of the curse, and use the legendary souls of Drangleic to maintain your sanity. But soon you realize you're not the only one who journeyed to Drangleic with this goal.
I like the way he says
Drangleic.
Drangleic.
Once Drangleic was a mighty kingdom,
That's
led by a wise king and a mighty queen. But giants from a far-off land waged war with the kingdom
This
to
is a
reclaim
nice
something
intro.
that was stolen from them. The giants were repelled, but the weakened kingdom soon fell victim to the curse of the undead. Hollowed soldiers overcame the lands, and the king who once had
Yeah.
the strength to lead his people also found the strength to fight them. But something went wrong. The king has locked himself away, and no one has seen the queen. The kingdom of Drangleic is in decay. Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born.
Who said that?
Drangleic. It bears resemblance to a place we once knew. A world with struggle between light and dark. A kingdom with a sinner, a king, a doomed betrayer, and a mass of the dead. A land where the curse of men reflects the curse of the world. Every flame turns to ashes. Kingdoms rise and fall, some light, some
Damn.
dark, all struggling for new beginnings with a fragile flame trying to survive among the embers. But perhaps struggling is the fire's ordinary state. The curse of life is the curse of want, and so you peer
Story
into the
mode.
fog in hope of answers.
Oh, damn. Okay, wait. Episode
This
1.
video was made slightly better because of the 408 people who kindled this channel. If you're interested
Nice.
in supporting this channel and getting rewards like seeing videos early, then click the bonfire. This is the story of a dragon.
Wait, so, okay, the first one is Heed's Tower of Flame. Is that correct? Hey, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Vadi Vidya. Heed's. Yo, Jagerus with the 10 gifted, dude. Thank you. Hey, my Wheelhouse got one. The Monarch Bueller got one. Elpheus, let's go. Jelly Rolls got one. You, Blake. Emmy got one. Let's go. John J. Hey, let's get some Kool-Aid. Anixia Nothax. Rufferent. Let's go, dude. Thank you, Jagerus. Heed's Tower of Flame. Thank you so much, dude. Okay, so that's what it said was episode 1. So maybe this will kind of create a playlist for us. Why are there 2? Oh, okay. So this might go in order for us.
In this episode,
Yeah, I think that's the case. Wait, does that have a playlist? Well, you know what? Let's just do this one first. Thanks so much for the gift sub. Let's go. And now you're a redhead. Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. Let's lock into this one.
our character makes it through Hade's Tower of Flame, and we almost feel like we've been here before. So watch on and you'll discover the origins behind this place and the beings within it. So back in Majula, we had 2 paths open to us.
Oh, hey, hold on. Okay, so wait. So this is more of a, is he doing like, Dark Souls to walk through with the story explained? Got it. So this isn't exactly what we're looking for. Okay, understood. It's the prepare to cry ones we're looking for. Got it.
When you finish the game, you
Story mode, prepare to cry, prepare to why. Dark Souls 2's, okay, this looks like a more, Actually, this might be it. This might be the way. This might be the way. Hey, let's go. Sorry, I can't give memberships from my phone, and I don't want to get out of bed. Hey, Thrash, thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude. And John, a member for 8 months. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. Thank you guys for the Kool-Aid. That's member streams. That's the streams kind of condensed into 2 sentences there. But I think what we'll do is go with all the prepare to cries first. That is part 2. Oh, Forest of the Fall. No, Heats Tower, Forest of the Fallen Giants. Oh, so it's just not in order for some reason then. Because, yeah, Forest of the Fallen Giants. We're going to skip the story modes for now. I'm going to go right into Prepare to Cry for Sin because that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So I'm looking at Sin right now. I thought you were cosplaying as the Emerald Herald. Damn, that would have been cool. That would have been cool, Renato. That would have been cool. Jagerus with another 10, dude. You're insane. Hey, Iki got one. Let's go. Hey, Mick got one. Chimero D got one. Let's go. Dark Scorpio, Atmosphere got one. Mark Apple, someone there. Augustus, Roger, Gaming Monkey got one. Let's go. Jaegers, thank you so much, dude. That's tons. That's tons. All right. Let's get into Sin. I'm really excited about this one actually. So let's do this. Almost missed the stream. Hey, you're right in time, I think. Yo, John. Oh, thanks, bro. John with the 20 gifted, dude. Squishy. Renato got one. Hampus got one. Night Sean Kevin. Hey, John. Thank you so much for the Kool-Aid. That Symbol got one. Nimbus got one. Lucky. Darkest. Yosh. KB Abyss Walker. I am Yato got one. Hey, let's go. Brooke got one. Lord Time. Hey, Chimera, how's it going? Skritish got one. Zorth got one. John, thank you so much, dude. Thank you. And with that, a celebratory hop into part 1 is called Dark Souls 2's Story Explained. Yeah, story mode. Oh, thank you so much.
This video will make more sense if you've watched part 1 of this series, where I explain the ending. Because now that we know what it means to sit upon the throne...
God damn it! Okay, fine!
When you finish the game, you have a lot of questions. Who are the giants?
We'll do this, and then, good call, Ollie, we'll do the one you suggested, then we'll do all the Prepare to Cries, and then I saw DLC ending explained. We'll do that one afterwards. The subtitles, yeah, interesting. I don't need those. I don't understand that language, so we'll just keep the subtitles off for now. Let's go.
What did King Vendrick steal from them? Why does Nashandra need you to open the door to the throne? Why does the Emerald Herald want you to ascend the Throne of Want? Why doesn't Vendrick sit upon the Throne of Want? What is the Throne of Want?
Dude.
Now, all of this is really overwhelming, I know.
Thank you.
But by the end of this video, you should at least understand my interpretation of events, and this can serve as a really good framework to build your own theories from. So,
perfect. Thank you, Vati. I will say, guys, that I might miss some donations while watching the video because I'm going to try to stay entranced in the video. Really excited. Only seen Woke almost cry 2 times. There's been a few. There's been an actual like bawling event that has happened before. I won't lie to you. On stream. Not going to say where. Wouldn't it be funny if Vati showed up in the stream? That would be nutty, but I don't think we're there yet, Tony. So I might miss some donations because I'm gonna stay and messages because I'm gonna stay locked in during the video. But then when I hop out, I'll check your messages. But yeah, I'm gonna stay locked in for these as I stop the video 30 seconds in. All right, let's go.
I'm going to start at the end and work my way backwards.
And no, I'm just kidding.
Now this might sound strange, but there is a reason for it, because most characters in Dark Souls 2 are driven by a desire, a want. For example, to understand Vendrick's hollowed state and location, you have to understand what he desired above all else, and how it led him there. To understand Nashandra's desire for the throne, we have to understand why it was so important to her, and to understand why the Emerald Herald drives you to become king, we need to know why she needs a new monarch. Do you understand? The reason we have these questions is because these character wants are hidden from us until the very end. That's why you got to the end of the game
As in
and you
every
still
great
had
story.
questions. Even the cursed undead you play as in-game is told that they will do these things without really knowing why. And you as a player are no different. The
It's
Firekeeper
always the
says it.
case.
But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why.
The maiden says it.
If you are to be the next monarch, then one day you will walk those grounds without really knowing why.
Grave Warden Agdane says it.
How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction.
Do you see? As the ancient dragon says, the curse of life is the curse of want, and you peer into the fog in hope of answers. This game, more than any other Souls game, is about a search for answers. So this is great for channels like mine
Damn, I
that
haven't
interpret
seen
the
this.
lore, but it's likely really bad for the average player who has no idea what's going on. And I'd assume this focus on answers is why so many item descriptions have questions within, because they want to make you question the world you find yourself in. And so we start with the Throne of Want. What is it? Well, first off, the throne room itself is a kiln. And to understand why it being a kiln is significant, you have to understand the principles of this world, and it just so happens that they're the same principles we found in Lordran in Dark Souls 1. In the Dark Souls 1 opening cinematic, we see the shambling forms of hollows. They're called that, presumably because they're empty vessels, hollow. Then the first flame appeared, containing powerful souls. One hollow found the Dark Soul and used it to give birth to
That's
humanity.
Pygmy, right?
Another 3 found their
Bird of
powerful
Pygmy?
souls within the first flame, and one of these lords became Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight. His soul was power, and he ushered in an age of light and fire. In time, though, this age began to dwindle. The brighter the flame, the shorter its life, and so the world began to darken. Everything fell apart around Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight. His city became abandoned, his trusted friends betrayed him. Demons were spawned when one of his fellow lords tried to relight the first flame, and humanity
Witch of
began to be
Ozolith?
afflicted by the curse of the undead. Undead are kept sane through their strength of purpose, and one undead took on an impossible purpose. He journeyed through the crumbling world and consumed thousands of powerful souls in the process, eventually gathering the strength to overthrow the fading Lord Gwyn. In the kiln of the first flame, where Lord Gwyn once linked the flame to his own soul, an undead with a powerful soul did the same.
Oh, so
He
his
links the
theory
flame
is-
to his soul like Gwyn
This
did,
is canon.
and the flame consumes him, starting a new age of fire. Before Dark Souls 2, we didn't know what effect this would have. We assumed linking the fire would bring light back to the world, and we were right. We also knew that linking the fire is a temporary solution, as everything fades in time. But what we didn't know is that this process is destined to play out over and over again. It's a cycle. The dull ember, an item we come across in our journey, gives us a clue about the cycle of light and dark.
That
An
door
ember radiating a dull light. This
looks a
flame
lot
seems
like
nearly exhausted, but it
door
exhibits an
before
eerie
Ozolith.
resilience. Perhaps this is its ordinary state. I think this quote reflects the concept of light and dark in the game. I think it means that the center point of light and dark is around a struggling, spluttering flame. Gwyn linked the fire with his soul. This prolonged his age of light. Eventually it faded to its natural state, where there were only cinders. At this point, an undead comes along with another immense soul. He can
Cinder.
either choose to link the flame and bolster the age of fire, or let it splutter and die and lead an age of dark. In Dark Souls 1, this is your choice. Whether you choose light or dark, it's possible that it doesn't even matter, because if you choose
Damn.
light, your age of light will eventually fade to cinders, and if you choose dark, you might smother the flame, but an ember will always remain in the ashes, waiting to be blown back into life.
Yeah, cycles.
In Dark Souls 2, there's an item called Sublime Bone Dust. Its description says that it is the remains of a saint who cast himself into the bonfire. But we will never know for sure, for soot and ashes tell no story. This isn't just any old dust, it allows you to bolster the power of your Estus Flask, which heals the undead. It's also found numerous times throughout the game, in numerous locations, so it's implied that these are the remains of the chosen undead before you, the chosen undead who linked the fire before burning to dust
I didn't
themselves.
even catch that!
Many kingdoms rose and fell on this tract.
Sublime Bone Dust is our bone dust?
Anything that has a beginning
From DS1?
also has an end. No flame, however brilliant, does not one day splutter and fade. But then, from the ashes, the flame reignites, and a new kingdom is born, sporting a new face.
This tells us that the cycle has repeated itself numerous times. Many have sacrificed themselves to renew the cycle of light, and their ashes are found throughout the land. One after the other, without fail, a chosen undead resigns himself to the kiln to link his soul with the first flame. So it's my theory that the undead curse crops up once the flame begins to fade, so that eventually a fated undead will appear with the willpower to gather souls and link the flame once again.
Damn.
When you link the fire, you're also removing the undead curse from the world for a short time. But only for a short time, for when the world darkens, the curse appears again.
The curse is a part of life itself. No one will ever be rid of it.
That makes that kind of I forgot how many years had been between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. That kind of makes the ending you guys had explained to me in the comments, the ending that I chose, which was we got to find a different way. That makes the impact of that being a choice so much more impactful, because thousands of years of the same cycle over and over. An undead comes, ignites the flame with using himself as the start of the new flame over and over. It's like thousands of years. Like, do we have to keep doing this again and again? And now at Dark Souls 2, thousands and thousands of years later, we're like, there's got to be a different way. I didn't feel that in the end of my playthrough, the how kind of important, how much of a statement that was. But after hearing like this kind of breakdown, it really
and so there is
puts
only
it in
one
perspective.
choice: to await a worthy monarch, a monarch who can shoulder your burden, lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
You are the bearer of the curse, but this means more than you'd think.
Oh, damn, it
you don't
closes.
just bear the curse of the undead where you die over and over, but by linking the fire, you also bear the burden
we
of
don't even
this
see the
cursed
flame.
world. You are the worthy monarch,
that's a
who
cut.
sacrifices himself so that humans can die instead of going hollow. Why do humans go hollow? Well, do you remember the hollows from the Dark Souls 1 opening cinematic?
I
That
do.
seems to be their natural state. Some of these hollows found humanity in the first flame and became human. Reverting to your hollow state doesn't seem that unnatural when you consider that, does it? So as I said earlier, remember the throne room you enter at the end of the game? Look at the design, it's a kiln. Just like the kiln in the first game, it exists to house the first flame. A kiln used to change the form of something with heat. The throne and the room itself is covered in ash, and as you enter, the Emerald Herald tells you that you can link the fire, should you choose to do so. The giant's kinship reads, "Each king has his rightful throne, and when he sits upon it, he sees what he chooses to see. Or perhaps it is the throne which shows the king only what he
remember
wants." So this is the effects of the ending. For now, simply know that it represents another cycle taking place. You are sitting upon a throne, and the throne is but a symbol of power and choice. The power and choice that lighting the first flame gives to you, as you can decide how to reshape your world. The Emerald Herald says that once the fire is linked, the souls you've inherited will flourish anew, and inherit
gonna
new
explain
bodies,
my
and
ending
all of the events that just occurred will play out again. The Age of Fire will be bolstered, and the undead curse may disappear, but in time the fire will fade, and eventually a new undead will come along, bound by fate. She then says it's your choice to embrace or renounce this. And like in Dark Souls 1, you have that choice to embrace light, or to reject it and let darkness
Hey,
come.
Mamba.
The only difference between Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1 that I can see is that in Dark Souls 2, we aren't able to make the in-game choice of linking the flame or walking away from it. And when you think about it, why would we need to make that choice in-game? Because now we know, regardless of what we choose, you, as a player, know the cycle will start over again.
Wow.
Great Sovereign, take your throne. What lies ahead, only you can see.
Wow,
now that you know what the Throne of Want represents, you can really understand the stories of those who would sit upon it.
Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that. I will, and I will. Okay, 21-minute episode. I have things to say, but obviously he needs to explain the story throughout the entire video. I might pause it here and there.
This video
I am liable to pause. I will warn you now. Fair warning, I am liable to pause. But what I was going to say is that makes me feel so much better about the ending I chose, even though I didn't. When I chose it, I was under the impression you go to the throne to act as kindling, and then on the way out, I thought it was like Dark Souls 1 where you choose dark. Wait, you may pause? I may just do it. I'm warning you. I just finished the Dark Souls 2 series. Love from Germany for not jumping on the hate wagon for DS2. Hey, McCraw, I am so glad I didn't. I am so... Do it. Pause when you want. Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's get a pause meter going. 1. No, Mr. Nobody. No. Yeah, I'm so glad I gave this a chance. Well, I mean, a chance is the wrong way to put it. I was always going to give it a chance, but like completely like open mind, don't look at anything from a negative or positive light. Just let's see what it is. Featuring Wuggernaut from the Wugs May Pause series. We're here for your reaction. Most of us have seen these videos already. Pause as much as you want. Hey, Ollie, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know where I got the idea that pausing was not a good thing, but I appreciate that. Hey there, Wugs. Sublime Bone Dust, in my opinion, might be Firekeeper's remains. That's an interesting take too. True. That's the nice thing about these games is knowing that these videos are what Vati has gathered, like an archaeologist. That's the way I see Vati. I'm not sure. It's like Mati or Matty. Is it Mati or is it Matty? Vati, or Vati. He doesn't know everything, but he's collected the information and he's like, this is what I've gathered. Here's his interpretation. Exactly, Flaming Pencil. Thank you. Vati. Gotcha. Thank you, Bumba. Vati, like from Legend of Zelda. I've only played Breath of the Wild, sort of. Kind of. You know what I mean? Heck yeah, Wugs. Hey, let him pause. Would you rather watch Vati vids or let him pause or time? Yeah, and nobody told me not to pause. I don't know why I decided that, but let's pause. Pause, gang, rise up. Rise up. Or Rhine up. Rhine?
Make more sense if you've watched part 1 of this series where I explain the ending. Because now that we know what it means to sit upon the throne, we can explore the stories of those who would sit upon it.
I'm excited for
And it turns out, the original king of Drangleic, Vendrick, was supposed to link the flame and sit the throne, but he never did. And when you acquire his soul, it is a soul of he who would link the flame. Queen Nashandra also makes reference to this when you visit her in the throne room.
The last king of this land, King Vendrick, as he was called. He was less of a king than you might imagine. He found the strength to rule his people, and when the undead were born, cursed, he found more strength to face them. But in the end, he never took the true throne. A true monarch is much more than a ruler of men. A true monarch carries the weight of their souls.
She's so much creepier knowing what she really is from the fight at the end of Dark Souls 2.
If a true monarch must carry a huge weight of souls and incinerate himself in the kiln to link the fire, then perhaps Vendrick wanted none of it. So now we go back. Back before there was a king, a queen, and back before Vendrick's kingdom of Drangleic was even founded. Many kingdoms have risen and fallen on the spot that is now called Drangleic. The kingdoms take different shapes, but the framework is always the same. There's always a king, there is always the undead curse, and there are always 4 powerful souls. Back in Dark Souls 1, there were 4 Great Ones. It's likely these were the first 4 Great Ones, as they found their souls within the first flame.
Many kingdoms have risen and fallen on this very spot, each like a great flame that turns to soot.
King Vendrick founded Drangleic.
He vanquished the 4 Great Ones and built this kingdom upon their souls.
Vendrick crushed the kingdom and the 4 Great Ones who existed before him.
Like that.
He then instigated a powerful kingdom named Drangleic, which came about due to those who fought for him. The ring bearing the soldier's seal was granted to warriors who distinguished themselves in the service of King Vendrick. He also commanded the Dragon Riders, elite knights straddling dragons, who helped him crush the kingdom's former inhabitants. Drangleic was built upon the graves of those they defeated, and his kingdom prospered. But Vendrick wasn't just interested in gaining the throne, he also sought to maintain it. And then there was a queen.
The king had a dear queen, a woman of unparalleled beauty. Long ago, the queen came to us, alone,
unparalleled
from a faraway land.
She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giants. The king crossed the ocean and defeated the giants with the queen at his side.
The king commandeered their power and created the golems.
Yeah, okay. Following
with the golems, the king created this castle.
Yep.
To celebrate victory and to show his love, his gratitude.
Hold on. Pause counter 3. Hold on. I do want to see something. This would be gratifying. This is just something I'm pretty sure I wrote down. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to be looking for ages. Hey, let's go. Let's go. What do I got here? King Vendrick. Do I got it in frame? Oh, my bad. King Vendrick. Queen warned about giants. Then her and Vendrick killed them. I thought she took Vendrick at a certain point. That's so cool. Let's go. I thought I wrote that he used the golems, but maybe it was somewhere else. I said defeated great souls and built Drangleic with them. That's not right. That's wrong. Let's go. I'll probably only do that a couple times, but I just love seeing that. Vendrick took himself. True. When you go to the castle, only queen is left, and you can fight her and know her true form. Oh, damn. I didn't know that. That's sick. All right. Love the lore board. There's no way... There's no way I'm not making a lore board for DS3 in the following games. Might not need it for Sekiro, I'm hearing, but it's just so good. Terrible computer. All right, let's continue watching this.
To his queen.
The queen brought peace to this land and to her king.
A peace so deep, it was like
the dark.
Is this some sort of a dream?
Where am I? What has happened to our castle?
Long ago, the king crossed the seas, pillaged the land of giants, and brought back a prize. It was then that the golems materialized
Yeah, okay.
Whatever Vendrick stole, it appears to have come with the ability to create automatons in the form of golems.
Oh, we
Golems
still
are
don't
inanimate
know.
beings that carry out a set purpose like opening a door or building a bridge. This purpose is powered by souls, so it seems as if the thing Vendrick stole from the giants allowed him to infuse things with souls. Key to many advancements was the king's elder brother Aldia. Aldia helped found Drangleic, and he was known for his experiments. The mysterious Lord Aldia secluded himself inside a manor to conduct various experiments. Those who visited the manor disappeared, replaced over time with malformed beasts that roamed its halls. His discarded experiments are seen throughout the entire land of Drangleic, and I believe that when the kingdom encountered trouble, Vendrick turned to his brother for an experiment that might just solve his problem. After conquering the giants, Drangleic knew peace for a time. This peace was destined to be short-lived, for the undead curse had begun to appear in Drangleic. Vendrick was trying to find ways to fight the curse. Many of his actions and the structures and creations within the land seem bent towards this end. Like the rulers of Lordran before him, Vendrick was frightened by the curse, and unlike the lords in Lordran, Vendrick was human and susceptible to the curse, just like his subjects were. The origins of the curse is becoming known to us. The common trend...
Gwyn was susceptible to the curse because when we found Gwyn, he was hollow, right? Or no, was that... No, because he... No, that's not correct. Because he linked the flame, or Gwyn wasn't hollow. Gotcha. Gwyn fried himself. Yes, that was it. My bad. Pause counter 4, hell yeah. Not hollow, just depleted. Got it. Gwyn used himself to link the fire. Yes, okay. Understood. He was like burned out. True. He was a burnout. Exactly. Okay, understood.
Between the two games is that the curse appears when the flame is fading. But Vendrick doesn't know this. Like the lords in Lordran before him, Vendrick assumed that the curse was almost like an infection, and he condemns the undead, imprisoning and exiling them. The Huntsman's Copse is evidence of this mindset. Undead hunts took place here before Vendrick's time, and these were led by the Old Iron King. Undead were corralled and locked away, but this solved...
Oh my god, that feels like so... That was Christmas! Oh my god, that was so long ago. It feels like... Oh my god, we got to be in this game for like half a year. There's so many memories and like time periods ingrained in these different areas. Oh my god, dude.
Nothing. Also, the Skeleton Lords were once charged with the capture of all undead, but even they were overcome by the curse.
It feels
and lastly,
like
the Executioner's chariot was created only to torment undead, running endlessly in a loop and running the undead down over and over. And regardless of all this not working, when King Vendrick became ruler of Drangleic, he took similar measures to the rulers before him. Long ago, the dungeons overflowed with the accursed, and the king commanded a contorted sentry to deliver those with no cells to a faraway land, to make certain that they were never heard from again. We all fought the Flexile sentry, who waits in a boat outside No Man's Wharf. When the bell is rung, it signals that a new shipment has arrived, and the Flexile sentry comes in to take them away. The king also hired shadow men to put down the hollows, but before long, they were hollowed themselves. And we see the Pursuer, which is a being without much backstory, other than his purpose to hunt down bearers of the curse and cut them down. During all this, Vendrick's time was running out.
His story
a powerful soul is
us.
like a curse, and Vendrick, king of Drangleic, used a powerful soul to keep the curse at bay. Soldan tells us that the curse is traceable to the soul. If the soul is the essence of life itself, then the real curse must be to walk this very earth. Vendrick is commonly touted as one who peered straight into the essence of the soul, presumably in an attempt to understand this curse. Vendrick and his brother Aldia began trying to discover the secrets of life itself. The malformed claws tell us this, saying that Aldia viewed the undead as key to this mystery. At some point, I think it's likely that they stumbled upon something that we know, but they didn't. That the curse of the undead seems to be tied to the fading flame. That previous kingdoms saw the undead curse appear when the first flame faded, or that a cycle was taking place where kingdoms were rising into an age of fire and falling into an age of dark. That there was almost some sort of fate involved. From item descriptions and from Aldia's creations, we can see that Vendrick and Aldia were trying to find a way to cheat fate. It looks like they were trying to find a way to preserve their kingdom so that fate would not recycle their kingdom just like all the others. But how do you cheat fate? The seed of a tree of giants tells us that death is not the end, for anything that has ever once lived remains a part of a great cycle of regeneration. But what of those outside the cycle?
A seed from the tree of giants. See, I never saw that in DS2. Is all I'll say.
The only things outside the cycle of death and rebirth are those that never lived at all, the ancient dragons. Aldir kept giants in his manor and attempted to recreate a dragon, but after some time, he was not heard from again. We find the ancient dragon at the peak of the Dragon Eyrie. It's a really peculiar being, as it drops a giant soul upon death, along with dragon bones. It's almost as if Aldir used a giant soul to construct such a being. We know that after Vendrick invaded the giants, he came back with the ability to construct golems. He could also infuse souls into inanimate objects. What if Aldir tried to reanimate an ancient dragon in the same manner? The powerful soul would give life to the inanimate bones, just like regular souls give life to the golems.
You'll find a great creature far to the east. A colossal thing with the strength to match its size. Or something playing the part at least.
Brave undead.
It's our girl.
What did that dragon tell you? That thing is a prop. A false deity. Don't be fooled, my undead.
It's possible, considering all this, that Aldir thought that by reviving the ancient dragon, he could revive a being that was outside the shackles of fate. The ancient dragons of Dark Souls 1 were outside the cycle of fire and dark, living in a lifeless age of grey. He went further than this though, when you consider the dialogue of Shanalot, the Emerald Herald.
My name is Shanalot. The dragon gave me this name, for I was born with none. I was born of dragons. Contrived by men.
Born of dragons, contrived by men. It looks as if Aldir attempted to birth another Firekeeper, a melding of human and dragon in the form of Shanalot, the Emerald Herald, one who could break the shackles of fate itself and maintain the fires indefinitely.
They say that she is the last Firekeeper, but they say a lot of things.
But they
Don't
failed.
pull the lever.
I did not come out as intended. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again.
At some point during all this, the giants must have rallied and invaded Drangleic with a vengeance. This battle spans multiple generations, bringing Drangleic to ruin.
My father and his father both fought the giants on this very land. Soon, the giants will descend upon this fort. It is revenge for the kingdom's misguided barbarism. My blade may break, my arrows fall wide,
remember for 8 months.
but my will shall never be broken.
In the midst of this invasion, I think that King Vendrick had a chilling realization. Vendrick's attempt to create the Emerald Herald tells us that he understands a cycle is taking place. A cycle where kingdoms are born into an age of light and eventually descend into darkness. When the darkness comes, undead appear. So when he considers this, everything must have become clear. When someone like Vendrick considered where the darkness must have come from in his kingdom, he would have realized that it came to him long ago. This queen made him invade the giants. This queen got his kingdom into the state it was in, and this queen came before a darkening kingdom. When he considers this, everything makes sense. His wife, the queen, is a pretender and a manipulator.
She came from a darkening kingdom. Oh my god, so she did it to another kingdom and then came to Drangleic? So she had put that kingdom into darkness in the like curse, and then came to Drangleic to do the same thing? Looking for someone who would link the flame? But why?
Later. Slowly she has grown closer to the throne, closer to the throne of want, and closer to the first flame.
We have no need for two rulers.
Nashandra's want is the first flame, as it's called by the Emerald Herald, the Great Soul. and as we mentioned before, this is either within the structure at the end of the game, or embodied by it. And so now we come to understand the want of Nashandra. She wants access to the First Flame, and the Great Soul, which is an access only a King of Drangleic can give.
Hey, Pirate, thanks for the Kool-Aid, dude. I won't see all of them, but I see this one. Navlan will give you kill mission, but every mission can be accomplished without killing, because he just demands an item as proof. Ooh, nice. Nice, dude. Nice.
If you proceed, Nashandra will come after you.
Thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude.
Knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the First Flame and the Great Soul.
Okay, pause counter. I'm sorry, I'm not trolling. So I just gotta go do something. So here's some lore you guys weren't asking for. I'll just I'm a pretty honest guy. There comes a point, 9, we almost hit 10. There comes a point in a man's life where he realizes that maybe he's created enough offspring. And at that point, a procedure can be done to make it so that 4 can be settled at 4. Yeah, so that I decided that. Yeah, I told you weren't asking for it 5 hours ago, so I've been told to just ice. So yeah, just one second, guys. I'll be right back. TMI, Wugs, TMI. I'm sorry. Oh, man is confirmed. Nobody asked. Yeah, it's not the lore drop you were looking for, but it's the one you got. Because I don't know how long this stream will go, so I might be back and forth, you know. Oh my word, shampoo. Oh my word, do recover well. Thank you guys. Shampoo. I'm sorry. I tried to put it as lightly as I could. I am so sorry. He's Manus, that's why he enjoys fighting Artorias. Oh, damn, true. Shampoo, oh, Mamba. So, in the channel lore, shampoo is our safe word. It means, okay, stop right now. Shampoo, cake at 100 pauses, deal. If we hit that, 100%. 20-hour stream, I don't know if I could sit that long. We did not need to know that, Wugs. Guys, I'm an open book. What can I say? All right, let's do this. Shampoo, conditioner. Let's keep going, guys. I need to take my mind off certain things.
Put Nashandra to rest. And then...
But Vendrick's want was to deny fate. We see this in his actions, in the creation of the ancient dragon, and in the birth of his Emerald Herald. We saw it as he hunted the undead, and we see it within the experiments of Aldia's Keep. And finally, we see it in his soul, the soul of he who would link the fire. King Vendrick refused to open the door to the throne, and he refused to link the First Flame with his own soul. This is the First Flame that Nashandra wants so badly.
The flame.
Why? But why?
The flame. Souls. More souls.
Nashandra is characterized by her lust for power. Every fragment of her being is bent towards this end.
She's the
her
soul
origins
of
are
desire.
shrouded in mystery to the main characters of Drangleic, but we learn of her origins once we obtain her soul. I don't know if you've read it, but her soul states, Nishandra was born of the dark with an insatiable lust for strength. The Bow of Want, formed from her soul, tells us that when the Old One of the Abyss was destroyed, his soul split into minuscule fragments, and these were spread across the land. The Old One is Manus from Dark Souls 1. This is confirmed by the official guide. Manus was responsible for the spread of the Abyss in Dark Souls 1, an ancient being characterized by his lust for his lost pendant. So, similarly, Nishandra is driven by her lust for power. The Bow of Want description tells us of how the smallest of these pieces of Manus, sensing its own fragility, yearned for what it lacked. Precisely due to its size, the smallest piece of Manus was the first to restore its form. A form that looks remarkably like Princess Dusk, who Manus stole from Ulasil, but that's a topic for another day. We can't be sure how Vendrick realizes this, but when he recognizes Nishandra's true nature, he must give up on cheating fate. He accepts that the curse will take over his flesh and his mind, but his final act is to deny his queen. King Vendrick prepares all the pieces of the puzzle and makes his move. Whatever the cost to him, his queen will not ascend the throne. And so, let's work backwards from the throne, and let's finally see how Vendrick set up the barriers to Nishandra's rule. The giant's kinship grants access to the throne beneath the castle. Why we need to be of giant blood to ascend the throne is a topic we'll hopefully understand soon, but note that the throne has a human-sized seat carved into a much larger throne. We find the giant's kinship within the memory of Jay, a giant who fell in the final battle with Drangleic, where the Giant Lord was present. The Giant Lord was eventually defeated by an unnamed hero, and we take their place inside the memory in order to obtain the giant's kinship. The memories of the giants can only be accessed once you have obtained the Ashen Mist Heart, which requires the blessing of the ancient dragon hidden deep within the dragon shrine. Such a thing cannot be taken by force. Mist is associated with time travel and space, and it's also associated with the ancient dragons. So it makes a degree of sense then that the false ancient dragon should have the ability to give you something like this. Something to access the memory of giants, something to get the giant's kinship, and something to let you access the throne. The doors to all of these things only open when one wears the king's ring. The king resided in Drangleic Castle with his queen, but eventually retreated deeper within it with his ring. I imagine Vendrick traveling with his trusted protector Velstart deeper into Drangleic Castle. He assigns the Looking Glass Knight to overlook the entrance to Amarna. Fearing something wicked, the king fled the castle and never returned, but his warrior, forever true to his command, stands ready to expunge those who would challenge him. So the king traveled to his Shrine of Amarna, which exists below Drangleic Castle. Its purpose, I believe, is to repel Nishandra. Within it are the Milfinito, who sing to bring comfort to those bound by death and dark.
When we sing, the little ones dance.
Not too much,
the little
Summer.
ones grant
Not
comfort to those who bear death and dark.
The little ones are the fireflies. While the Milfinitos sing, the fireflies gather around those bound by death and dark, rendering them passive, docile, and inert. If we stop them singing, then the creatures of death and dark become aggressive and revert to their natural selves. Nishandra's very being is death and dark, and she would be bound by this calming force if she attempted to travel through here. Within Drangleic Castle, we also see a captured Milfinito, which presumably was taken by the queen as she attempted to penetrate the shrine after Vendrick went through it. So at one point, when Vendrick is traveling through the shrine, he splits himself apart from his soul and places it behind a door only openable by a human. Maybe one day the chosen undead will pass through here, unable to be broken down by the undead curse. Hence, they will be human and able to open this door and obtain the king's soul. And maybe then they'll understand. From here, after splitting his soul, I imagine that Vendrick is carried by his trusted hand Velstart, who carries his husk of a body to rest in the undead crypt. Velstart, known as the
No. Oh my god. Can you imagine that walk? Ouchie. No, not... Velstad carrying Vendrick's body, laying him down, and then turning around. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that when the soul was in there. Just put more ice. That's crazy. That's insane. And all these like traps that were set by Vendrick, because in the beginning you think the Royal Aegis, yo, what a G. I can't believe I killed his ass. But I guess that was Kendrick. King Vendrick. Vendrick's plan. But oh my god. We need the films so bad. Movies? I'd take this movie. If they did it right. Vendrick is also like twice his size too. Damn. True. Damn. That can't be right though. Vendrick is alive and well in his own memory that we go into. He went to the crypt before he went hollow. Oh. Ooh, interesting. You're right. But he did lose his soul. Oh, but my headcanon is that walk now. Hollywood would butcher it horribly. That's fair. That's fair. I'd hate Dark Souls. It would have to be a show done by like HBO or something, or Showtime. But, oh, damn. I want that to be it, though. Hello, hello. Did I miss much? Not too much, dude. Not too much. We're on the second video. Almost
Royal
done it, though.
Aegis gave himself to the king, both in life and death. Vendrick's armor is placed in a neat pile, with the king's ring ready to be taken by a worthy undead. Perhaps his gear is put aside by Velstadt in the hopes that the chosen undead will take the ring and what he needs, but not harm the king he has been charged with protecting. The king is a soulless husk, and there is nothing to be gained from killing him. One day, this undead may link the fire. Vendrick knows that he will one day be overthrown by an undead worthy to link the flame, for it is written in fate, but he makes sure that Nashandra will not be the one to open it, as the barriers to her presence are great. The king's ultra great sword depicts the queen. Only the king knows whether the depiction of the queen is an affectionate exaltation or a resentful mockery. I believe it's the latter, a mockery of the queen as Vendrick succeeded in delaying her access to the throne, and resentful because he must abandon his kingdom to keep it safe. Nashandra waits. During all this, she guides the undead, knowing she can't hope to ascend the throne without you. If you go back to her at different points in the game, she'll tell you about the dragon in the shrine and the king in the crypt.
I miss this.
She encourages you to descend upon the throne of want, and waits until you take out the throne watcher and the throne defender before finally presenting herself.
So what does she want with the flame? Because she's like
yourself to
opposite the flame. She's pretty.
Now, be one with the dog.
Classical sense.
Nashandra, born of Manus, has one final chance to take out the chosen undead and ascend the throne. But the undead is strong enough to overthrow the sinner, the rotten, the old Iron King, and the Duke's dear
Yes,
frame.
we are.
Strong enough to conquer the giant memories and uncover Vendrick and his crypt. So just like in Dark Souls 1, we're strong enough at the end because of the barriers in our way, many of which were put there by King Vendrick. And because of Vendrick, we easily conquer Nashandra as she tries to stop you from ascending the throne. Hope you enjoyed these two videos, guys. These two took a long time to research and make, and even then, I'm nowhere near answering all the questions in this game. There's so much left to uncover, so many things that I left out of this video, just for simplicity's sake. I have a bunch of these questions listed in the description, and I'll probably make a video talking about them at some point. But if you wanted to try and answer some of them with your own theories in the comments down below that like button, then I think that would make for some great discussion. Anyway, click on the bonfire if you enjoy my content, and if you'd want to kindle the...
Click. I didn't do probably what he intended, but hell yeah, dude. Okay. So I'm going to go through from now on, from here on, I'm going to go through Dark Souls Prepare to Cry, all the Prepare to Cries, and then the DLC ending explained. I'm going to get into that as well, because a lot of the characters here are DLC characters. Pause, counter 11. No, wait. Jaggeris doesn't count when the video's done. Does not count. If I pause it and don't continue a video, it doesn't count. Why do I care about this so much? I don't know. Back when YouTube annotations were a thing. Oh, true. Oh no, I just rewanted it and I wish I hadn't. Oh, God. Oh, you saw the channel lore drop. I see. Like the video wugs, you're right. I'm so silly. Correct.
When you finish the game,
I did like this one as well. And you know what?
This is the
I'm
story.
just gonna predict the future here. That I'm gonna like this one too. Hey, let's go. Line up, Larry. Hi, number one lurker here. Can I request some closed captions? Absolutely, dude. Let me get the English ones for you. Absolutely. Sorry about that, dude, but absolutely.
Of a dragon with poison in his heart, and it's a story of the race that discovered.
How come it's gray though? Let me see if I can change that for you. Click settings. Subtitles, English, options, font color, white. Yeah, transparency. Font size, font color, font opacity. Can I get a 0 on that one? Video or override. Allow for a different caption style if specified by the video. Off. Oh, perfect. There we go. Tech guy. That's me. Pause counter 15. Shit. No. Had nothing to do with DS3. Now we know the real reason why he took a week off. No. No, I actually get to edit more now. Because I actually can't work my weekend job.
Worshipped his magnificence, but ultimately perished by his side.
Oh, no. Dragons start over. This doesn't count as a pause.
This is the story of a dragon with poison in his heart, and it's the story of the race that discovered him, worshipped his magnificence, but ultimately perished by his side. Dragons have always been intriguing to humanity, with many believing they hold the secrets to life itself. One who believed this was Vendrick, king of Drangleic, and his brother Aldia. Together they experimented on dragons, in the hopes that they could learn more about their existence. Eventually, they were successful, recreating an ancient dragon with the ability to peer into the past, to view the stories of old so that they might learn from them. This is one such story. In the ancient dragon's eyrie, before the chamber with the dragon's egg, is a mural that depicts an ancient civilization who existed long ago deep below the deepest depths. Legend has it that deep below the earth, behind a door locked from the inside, is a magnificent city.
A magnificent city. Okay. I'll take that pause on the chin. I do have to go and put something back in the freezer. I'll be right back. Oh. Yeah. Sitting down. It's always a fun little scary time. Okay. All right. Poor chair, it needs love. It gets love. It gets love all the time. This counts as 2 pauses? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Freezer, was that a Frigid Outskirts reference? Might as well be. That's what it feels like I'm going through right now. Absolutely. Rachel, the Brothers Code is the channel for the cinematic versions of the stories, for those who ask. Oh, nice. Yeah, so we're going to do these and then Happy Souls, just because I think that's the clean way to do it for this one. Already at an hour. Not trying to make this video too long for those who will watch the VOD. And just get a clean reaction of these guys and put a kind of close the back of the book for DS2 here. Well, part of you went to the frigid outskirts, that's for sure. True. Those are like 3 hours each. I might watch those myself, to be honest. Not on stream, but just for fun. But all right.
Built for a great
Not to say this
dragon.
isn't fun, but you know what I mean.
In a bygone age, the king in the depths built his city around this beast. This subterranean world centered around the great sanctum that housed the dragon in its depths, and was aptly named Shulva, the Sanctum City.
Shulva.
This was a religious city, where sorceries were considered taboo, but miracles flourished, as the people there were grounded in their faith. The people prayed and worshipped, and the priestesses sang to soothe the dragon in its slumber. One wonders whether a single phrase of their song ever reached the dragon's ears, but to people of faith, such questions matter not. As is common,
the king had a dear queen.
And the queen sang to the dragon also.
These queens.
At this point in our story,
For these queens, like, the fact that Manas's soul split into 4, and each one of those 4 found a king, like, that was their MO, but they actually did it. It makes you think, what were they, you know, I'm not trying to, but they all bagged kings. What were, like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was it each king like, yes, that's the lucky girl I'm going to marry? You know what I'm saying? You know what? I don't know. They were probably good listeners, is what I'm thinking.
You should know that the dragon has a tragic secret. Deep within him, sin harbors a dreadful store of poison, and there will come a time where he cannot bear it any longer. Looking back, it's impossible to know whether the people knew of the poison, or even if the dragon himself knew. Perhaps the people of the city prayed, sang, and soothed out of fear. Fear that the waking of the dragon would lead to their demise. If so, this could only serve to strengthen their faith, for fear is the heart of reverence, and the people revered their magnificent sleeping beast, the center of their faith. It should come as no surprise to you that men would come to covet the dragon.
Damn,
to the Drakeblood Knights, fresh dragon blood was sacrosanct. They believed that by obtaining it, they could come to a true understanding of life, allowing them to transcend their own pointless existence.
Damn.
In a world where strength of purpose keeps one from hollowing, a belief like this isn't so strange.
Ooh. I like the way Vaati explains, it's almost like purpose is the ultimate currency in this world. Because with purpose, you don't go hollow. So it doesn't matter if there's no logic or truth based on the purpose that you're following. As long as that purpose is strong, it's enough to be worth pursuing. That's crazy.
Led by Soyorg and his famous spear, the Drakeblood Knights lay siege to Shulva. The king of Shulva called his Sanctum Knights to arms, many of whom renounced their own flesh to eternally guard the Sanctum from the assault of Soyorg and his Drakeblood Knights. They were sentenced to eternal stewardship, yet soon the day would come when the Sanctum received nary a visitor. During the conflict, the dragon slept, lulled by the Queen's song. You have to wonder who sent Soyorg and his Drakeblood Knights, so look now at the crest upon the ring of Soyorg and see the truth of things. This is the crest of Drangleic. Soyorg, leader of the Drakeblood Knights and possibly of Vendrick's kingdom, cuts down the soldiers of the Sanctum and kills the king in the depths. He then faces the slumbering dragon. With visions of dragon blood and omniscience, Soyorg pierces the dragon with a flash of his steel, piercing Sin through the chest. And as you can imagine, it wasn't what he was expecting. Sin immediately awakens, and from his wound spews forth the deadly poison that had long been brewing within him. It blankets the entire city in a miasmic cloud, restoring the dragon's purity, but toppling the city. Soyorg and his Drakeblood Knights disappeared into the Sanctum, and nothing more was heard of the race that discovered a dragon and worshipped its magnificence.
Damn.
Until now. There have been many kings and kingdoms, hierarchies that rose and fell, leaving ruined kingdoms behind. We visit the memories of Vendrick, king of his own unraveled kingdom.
I am no king. I am more fit to be a jester. I was unaware of my own blindness.
His voice is so nice. that like grit but like somber vibration in his voice. Ooh. Didn't burp until over an hour into stream. Color me impressed. Why, thank you. Pause counter 10. Hey, everybody. Pause counter. No. Hey, Jaggers, come on now. Always going to miss a lot of things in DS3. Should be a live stream DS3 with us after. There will definitely be lore, DS3 lore stream. It'll probably be pretty long. I might prepare mentally for a 4 or 5 hour stream for that one, just in case it's like a run through of the entire series and how it connects and whatnot, but that'll definitely be one. Vasectomy makes your voice pitch higher, I hear. I don't find that the case. I'll get back to you on that, but I don't think... I read a few things about the effects, and that's not the case, I don't think, but I'll get back to you.
We are feeble vessels with feebler souls. We would cast aside the prop of life,
Girl's back,
only to face greater hardship. Are you another such fool? Or something more? Seeker of fire, conqueror of dark. Do you intend to link the fire? Then you must first take the throne. Prove your worth. Find the ancient crowns. Seek adversity, and they will be yours. And your wishes. Granted.
Somewhere within the sanctum is the crown of the sunken king, the crown of a king who came before Vendrick, the crown of a king who was killed by Sir Yorg on the day that the dragon awoke. We explore the ruined sanctum, and we uncover the truths that it holds. The soldiers in the sanctum are now undead, coated with the corrosive poison of the dragon, but still carrying out their orders to defend the sanctum from outsiders. Throughout the sanctum we find open chests, which are a tribute to the grave robbers and thieves who have flocked to this place. Sin the sleeping dragon now roams his domain, sleeping lightly where he pleases. He even clears a bridge for us at one point, killing the 2 soldiers that block our path. Dragons in all the lore have always kept to themselves. They either think themselves above man or do not care for his conflicts. You have to wonder about Sin. Did he harbor malicious intent? He had poison in his heart, but when he was pierced by Yorg's spear, the poison gushed out and restored his purity. This implies he was pure before, which suggests that the poison was placed within him. But by whom? We find an answer in the sanctum, right before Sin.
We do?
You.
Alanna, the squalid queen, once again sings to Sin, the slumbering dragon. After the kingdom is ruined by Sin's awakening, she remains alone. I believe Alanna sang the Song of Poison into the dragon's heart, and was at least partly responsible for the fall of the Sunken King, just like her sister Nashandra was responsible for the fall of Drangleic. Nothing explicitly confirms Alanna's intentions, except the pattern that repeats itself. We are discovering that all great kings have queens that lay in wait, waiting for the right moment to strike, and it's easy to believe that the queen of the Sanctum City was partly responsible for its fall.
Ivory King.
Alanna defends her sunken kingdom with a mixture of fire, dark, and most notably, poison and filth. Her essence is that of filth and neglect.
I never
She even
got
summons
that
a depraved replica of the king's hand, Felstat, completing the image of a queen devoted to making a mire of the world. After we conquer Alanna, we learn who she was from her soul.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Seeker of fire. I see you've subdued another foul creature. One of the Father of the Abyss spawn. That confounded quintessence of humanity. The Abyss once had form, but then dissipated. And yet, traces of its existence endured. Each fragment, thirsting for power, spread dark with no relent. My dear Chandra was one such fragment. A feeble, tiny thing that thirsted for power more than any other. Driven by insatiable lust for a worthy vessel.
All queens thus far are the children of the sentient abyss that existed long ago. They are the pieces that regained form in ways that hint at humanity's true nature.
Oh, so does Nashandra want someone to take the throne in order to then become the vessel of, or like have that be her vessel? But that's not the case, because she stopped us before we went into the throne. So I still don't understand what Nashandra is looking for. Like, what she wants. Like, what does she want with the fire? She wants to absorb the flame and steal its power. Take the throne for herself. Oh, so she thinks she can take the whole flame? I don't know about that. She might think that, but I don't know about that one. Humanity equal beings of dark. Doesn't Nashandra want Age of Dark? I mean, theoretically, all she has to do is wait. You know what I mean? And make sure nobody takes the throne. But she was looking to take the throne herself. Nashandra wants a lot of things. Gotcha.
They seek to
Power,
behold
fair,
once again.
fair.
Alanna, the queen of the Sanctum King, is a child of Wrath. She's gathering souls
Wrath.
and power from the slumbering dragon in anticipation of the coming day of vengeance. Her sister, Nashandra, the queen of Drangleic, is a child of Want. The king's dear Chandra seeks the throne and the power to reshape the world that comes with it. For this, she needs a vessel. Nashandra guards the throne. Alanna guards a crown. I'm sure a third sister lies in the remains of the Old Iron King's kingdom, and we've yet to see her. It appears that the sisters are keeping the crowns and the throne warm, waiting for some day of reckoning where they avenge their father. Every king of light has had a fragment of Manus undoing their efforts.
Okay, I
from the
understand
start.
now, guys. I don't know
like
what
Vendrick
was.
says, the brighter the flame, the
Hey,
deeper their
Kuiper,
shadow.
thank you. Thank you.
Since death was a result of our desire for the crown of the sunken king, for it is now our
Hey,
job
Silva,
to
no
gather
worries,
the crowns and link
We're pretty
the fire.
early.
We aim to be a lord of light that the previous kings weren't, and we will succeed in this. But what if we have a queen of our own?
Bearer of the curse, I will always be at your side until hope has fully withered.
I mean, yeah. Until hope has fully withered. She's not a queen of dark. She was created by apparently Vendrick and Aldea. But damn. Hold on, is this? No, this is story mode. Yeah, this is the wrong. We're going into this one, but oh damn. So theoretically, the queens all around the kings wanted the Age of Dark. Our queen, the way he's suggesting it, she was made to continue the light forever. And in a sense, we kind of did that with our ending in a way, kind of. What if we are the queen we always desired? I like that. DS2, the only one is the one is only sister to be good. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Nico. I'll hop in this one. Alan and the Iron King. Okay, I needed some answers on this one, actually.
Man is defined by his ambitions. Before the Iron Crown, all the young lord had was an iron will. Little known and unestablished, the lord held some power, but he wanted a kingdom to match his pride. So with ambition alone, he raised an army and threw his entire might against the kingdom of Ven. Ven was not a desirable region, but even so, the lord lost much to acquire it. He wrested this small throne from its previous ruler and became a king. This act left him enfeebled. He had sacrificed everything for this kingdom, and was discovering that ambition without wisdom is like a bird without wings.
Damn.
How could he hope to hold this kingdom?
Ooh.
Ambition had inspired
What a
his
line.
subjects to action, yes, but ambition alone cannot run a country. It cannot substitute the qualities a ruler needs. The king was short-sighted, he knew little, and his story likely would have ended here. But then, from the east, a powerful warrior came, a man wielding a bewitched sword so powerful, it was unknown whether he controlled the blade, or whether the blade controlled him. This man was Alon. Sir Alon stands apart from the other characters in our story. The others are defined by their wants and ambitions, but Alon has none to speak of. Thus, it's impossible to say why he came to this land, or what he saw in the king. Perhaps he thought he was destined for great things, or perhaps they became like brothers. Whatever his desires, Alon decided to serve the short-sighted king. His wisdom was a light in the darkness, and the king was reborn as a powerful ruler.
Damn,
with wisdom and pride, Alon and the king did a great many things. Their rule was defined by their strength, and the kingdom was shaped by their union. The king's army was revolutionized under Alon, with the men mastering great bows and slender blades wielded in an eastern fashion. The king, as many kings before him, found himself enraptured with fire and all it represented. He appointed a master of pyromancy, a man named Egil, who would go on to grant fire a will of its own. Egil adored his bull-headed king, and was awarded a great ornamental minotaur helm. The minotaur, half man, half bull, would come to symbolize the stubbornness and bestial strength of the king and his kingdom. For even with Alon's counsel, the king remained short-sighted and reckless. So like a bull, he charged ahead, savoring his momentum. To sustain his country, the king sacrificed the land. Past the hunting grounds in the copse lay a place called Harvest Valley. The king exploited the land here so thoroughly that poison seeped from the earth, but it mattered not. The stubborn king persisted, adapting his workers and driving the slaves ever harder. The bounty of ore found here was high, so the kingdom became wealthy and well supplied.
Damn.
Within the valley, great relics of times long past were uncovered, kingdoms from long ago, sunken and forgotten to time. A warning existed.
Oh, it's a mine. Oh my gosh. That makes sense why this was found. Okay, I understand now. It's ironic that it's called Harvest Valley too. I never really put that together as well. There's not much to harvest here. Poscatter 24. We're getting there. That's insane. That's why it's there. I had forgotten this thing was even here. That was such a moment.
Here,
son, bro.
But the king was blind to it. He did not seek to learn from past kingdoms buried beneath the earth.
Oh, Tony.
Rather, he intended to profit from their passing. And so, when the scorching iron scepter was found, everything changed. With heat, you can fuel, create, destroy. It's one of the simplest forms of energy, and thus it's one of the most useful. With this artifact, the King of Ven revolutionized his kingdom. Smelting iron became trivial. There were no bounds to what he could create. Iron melted, shifted, and was brought under his control, as if he held sway over the forces of life and creation. The kingdom's warriors were equipped in iron armament. Hulking great suits of armor were brought to life. The king curated a palace made entirely of iron, and some legends even say that he tried to create a dragon out of iron, driven by the same fated lunacy as the kings before him. Presiding over his great age, the Iron King knew unparalleled power. None could stand in his way, and any who would try would be crushed under his might. Be that as it may, the Iron King still faced challenges. All the iron in the world could not cure the undead curse, but not for lack of trying on the king's part. He sought to shackle and imprison all undead in iron, converting the copse to a hunting ground and prison where undead, not animals, were the prey. It seemed fruitless, however, and the hollowed undead continued to multiply even within the ranks of those hunting them. In his rage, the Iron King built a great circular colosseum to torture the undead. They were ritually let out of their cells to be run down by the executioner chariot,
these are all kings
unable to escape and unable to die. The punishment for offending the Iron King's might was harsh, even if undeserved. These things became reflections of the king's conceit, hallmarks of his reign. At this moment, a terrible woman who would be his ruinous queen set course for the kingdom.
Terrible woman.
And then, at the peak of the Iron King's rule, his friend walked away. Alon was gone, his distaste left unspoken. The king was alone. How had Alon dared to leave him? The king's might was iron, his right to rule unchallenged. He could not suffer the indignity, would not. So he tracked his old friend to a far-off keep. He saw that Alon had brought some of the king's own men with him and had posted them as guards, knowing the king would come after him. But the Iron King had grown powerful, and Alon's knights were no match for his might. At the top of the tower, Alon waited for his king to meet him. Once, the question the king might have asked was why. Why had Alon left him? But he had been king for a long time, and his arrogance had grown, so when the two men clashed, their ties were forgotten. They had come far together, ever since the days when the Iron King was just a small lord on a small throne. Alon had helped him become the man he was today, and he paid dearly for it. For once, Alon would have avoided every blow, but now it was the king who overwhelmed the teacher. Alon took his own life in the end, dying with honor instead of to the king's hand.
Oh shit, is this true? Oh shit. Okay, guys, hear me out. If this is true, remember it said we're in the king's memory? Did it not say that? That we were in the king's memory? And we were like, I asked, I was like, why is this the king's memory if I don't see the king anywhere? It's one theory. It makes sense though, because we were in the king's memory, but the king wasn't there. Like, where was the king? We were from the perspective of the king. That's, oh my god, that's so sick. If you know Hitomi, he commits Sudoku. Well, Sudoku. This is just an interpretation. I fuck with this interpretation. That's insane. Seppuku? I forget if it's seppuku or seppuku, but dude, that's insane. I think it's his opinion. I mess with it. I mess with it heavy because it says it's the king's memory. It says it's the king's memory, but the king wasn't in there. Am I right? Was it the king's memory? I think it was the king's memory. To hide the truth. I like to think that we killed Alon and the king made a story that Alon left, but it's okay. Did it say the king's memory though? I agree with the theory. Makes the most sense. That's a cool point. Yes, it was the king's memory, bro. It's the king's memory, and we're the perspective of the king. Hey, Dennis became a wughead. Let's go, dude. When you kill the last giant, he remembers you. That's true too. That's true too. Oh my goodness. Oh, that again another. Okay, so with flaws, Velstad carrying hollowed Vendrick's limp body is now my headcanon, even though it has its flaws. Very, very much so has its flaws. And now the fact that we walk into the king's memory and his memory is through our perspective, that is now headcanon for me. I hate to say it, but it is. I hear what you're saying, Felix, in the sense that the last giant remembers us specifically. But maybe there's something in there where we act as king in each memory? No. And then maybe there's something that, I don't know. That's too much. Time is convoluted. True. It's named Memory of the Old Iron King. All I'm saying. I didn't say much right there, but all I'm saying. That's great.
The memory we experience doesn't end with Alon's death, as you would expect. When we step inside a memory, we see it through to the end. The king walked into the adjacent room after Alon departed, and what he saw there would steal this memory in his mind forever.
Absolutely, Felix. 100%.
In this room, Alon had kept the king's old throne, a reminder of the king's humble origins, a keepsake from the time he had traveled to the king's land, offering his servitude and friendship to the man who would become the Iron King. The memory ends here.
Well, the story is tragic.
Nurtured properly, man's ambition allows us to take flight. On ambition's back, we reach greater heights, and kingdoms are elevated alongside the man. But if man looks back and sees not where he has been, then on which path does he travel? The Iron King had lost his way, and now he had lost a friend and mentor as well. From this point onwards, we see evidence that this event had broken the man. After Alon departed, the Iron King named his knights after Sir Alon, for they were loyal to him more than the Iron King. He took Alon's armor back to his home, enshrining it and locking it below his current, towering Iron Throne. This bonfire below the throne came to be known as Smelter Throne Bonfire. His pyromancer Egil had experimented with giving fire a will of its own, and the king had become adept at infusing suits of iron with souls. Now, towards the end of his rule, he crafted one more, a terrifying suit of black iron that would come to represent the demons he now held. It's implied he infused it with Alon's soul, for the demon he created to...
Bro, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look at this guy. My headcanon is that these are doomed boyfriends. That's fair. Burp count 2. I actually like seeing the red flame doesn't trigger me as much. Doomed boyfriends. But the blue flame,
took
if
on
they
the
show that,
combat
might...
style of his old friend, battling with inhuman leaps into the air, and the ability to infuse its sword with fire by plunging it into its belly, just like Alon had done. The lore is unclear on what happens next. Some of it says that the earth spouted fire, with a smelter demon arising from the flames. It says that the short-sighted king was incinerated by the creature in one swing, and his castle devoured in a sea of flames. The other side of the lore says that the king hurled himself into the magma, perhaps in agony over what he had done to his friend. Though, in the end, the Queen of Ruin arrives at the kingdom and finds no king or country. The short-sighted king had sunk below the scorching iron, and his iron rule sunk with him. If this video added a bit of depth to the experience you had with the game, then let me know. That's my goal here on YouTube. If you want to become a part of the small group that directly supports me, then please click the link on the screen. It'll take you to a page where you can pledge a small amount of money per month to be part of a small, engaged community of direct supporters. This means less ads for everyone, as well as a few awesome perks for donators, like getting to see videos early.
Patreon. Go to Vaati's Patreon if you want to support. I mean, this is 10 years ago, but I wonder if he has a Patreon still, but let's like this bad boy. All right, so we got 4 more videos left before... Wait, Prepare to Y? Oh, no, 3 videos left. I'm going to leave the Prepare to Ys. So we have the Raven and the Royal Agus I'm excited for. The Arkdrake Sect and DLC ending explained. I'm here for that. Is Blue Smelter truly canon? Blue Smelter is a nightmare that never happened.
Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, was the first Lord of Light.
Why are we starting here?
He feared the darkness, feared what it would do to his age of fire. So he surrounded himself with powerful allies, even splitting his own soul so that their power could be greater. They would all fail him in the end. Most abandoned the kingdom. One went mad. Another tried to relight the first flame.
Start watching Chalice's video.
But none compared to the treachery of the 4 kings. The 4 kings who ruled over New Londo were praised for their foresight, yet still they succumbed to the temptations of the abyss. In exchange for the art of life drain, the 4 kings gave up their kingdoms to Dark.
Why are we starting
These were the events of long, long ago. And today, no one remembers the kings' names. However, names change, but the story remains the same, and 4 kings again lose their kingdoms to the abyss.
Chalice video was very
One of the 4 is Vendrick, the present Lord of Light. Like Gwyn before him, Vendrick surrounded himself with allies he trusted. He favored simple warriors who staked their every battle on strength alone, and he valued knowledge of all things.
My lord made magnificent findings on souls, an accomplishment for the ages. He vanquished the 4 great ones and built this kingdom upon their souls.
Our king has watched over this land, since ages long, long ago.
The man was born to rule. When he heard that the giants from across the sea held a threat to his kingdom, he vanquished them and claimed their strength. When the Iron Kingdom fell, Vendrick sent his soldiers to claim the replete stores of iron held in Broom Tower. And when the undead curse threatened his own kingdom, Vendrick created monstrosities in the name of the greater good. Everything he did for his kingdom. To serve him, the king had two he valued above all others, Raim and Velstad. These men were known as the left and right arms of the king, even though they were as different as night and day. Raim, the darker brother, cared deeply for his king. He sought the man's admiration, and saw Vendrick as a regal father figure. His great shield was emblazoned with a great raven, an omen of death, but it was Raim's favorite bird. This great shield would one day be the only thing left of him in Drangleic, a foreshadowing of his fate. Velstad, the right arm of the king, was always at Vendrick's side, as if he were his lord's own shadow. They say Drangleic is no place for any cleric with ambition, yet Velstad had risen to the top, and remained the exception to his lord's disregard of miracles. The lore tells us that Velstad was lured to Drangleic from a faraway land, but forgot even why he came. You can trace the man's origins to the sunken kingdom of Shulva, where even now, amongst the ruins, a wrathful queen summons a follower in his image. Such was his loyalty. This queen brought destruction to her people and to her king. She rose to power by gaining favor with the king and by singing to the ancient dragon they worshipped. When the king of Shulva realized her true nature, it was already too late. The ancient dragon awoke and spewed poison over the entire city, until only Alana, the squalid queen, remained. If Velstad is indeed from Shulva, one has to wonder how he didn't see history repeating itself. For the darkness was
she
rising,
could summon
and his
Velstad,
king
but
was in
wondering
danger.
why
Alana was
he's
not the
from
only
Shulva,
child of dark
or if
seeking
he
a
is.
king. A woman named Nishandra arrived in Drangleic and began courting the current king.
She warned our lord of the looming threat across the seas, of the giants. The king crossed the ocean and defeated the giants, with the queen at his side.
There was no better way to seduce
just in
Vendrick, and the
time.
queen knew it. He
Good to see
valued
you,
this
dude.
kingdom above all else, and would vanquish any enemy to keep it safe. So one has to ask, were the giants ever a threat? Or were they simply a target Nishandra used to gain Vendrick's trust? Regardless, Vendrick
she knew
conquered the
they'd
giants'
retaliate.
homeland and countered the battle as won.
The queen brought peace to this land and to her king.
A peace so deep, it was like
the dark.
That's great. I just
A man
got
can
that.
be judged by the company he keeps, and the company Vendrick kept was loyal indeed. Velstad, the royal Aegis, would follow his king into darkness if need be. But there is a difference between loyalty to a king and loyalty to a kingdom, so only one saw Nishandra for what she truly was, while the other was blinded by faith. Raim. Raim was denounced as a traitor for speaking for his kingdom but against the king and queen. Velstad, utterly faithful towards the crown, would vanquish Raim for daring to question the monarchy. So the two arms of the king clashed, instead of facing the true threat. Nishandra had eliminated any threats to the kingdom, and had found a king blinded by love. She was perfectly poised to usurp the throne, and Raim saw it. The king's tragic flaw was his pride, and Velstad's flaw was his mindless faith.
Wow.
For without tolerating those who
Wow.
challenge us, how can we grow? The light is always moving forward, and the darkness will
Poor
only win
Raim,
when
dude.
the light stops seeking it out. With the kingdom at peace, Nishandra had halted the kingdom's momentum, and darkness crept closer. Velstad should have recognized the pattern that took place long ago in Shulva.
If he's
Both of
from
his
there.
kings were being manipulated by a child of dark, yet Velstad did nothing to stop it happening again. His faith in his king was absolute, the truth irrelevant. The king valued strength and loyalty, and both were on display here. Velstad fought for his king, Rame for the fate of his kingdom. Both were loyal, both were powerful. Yet Volstagg was the victor. Rame was not killed for his treason. He was exiled. His strength had not been enough, so he left the kingdom in search of greater strength. He would never return. He had learned that being right is meaningless.
Do we fight Rame with his
power to
shield?
back it up.
Does he have a shield?
Anyone could see that the kingdom was deteriorating under Nashandra's rule, yet Volstagg's faith had overpowered the truth.
Right?
Volstagg had come from a kingdom where a dark queen remained, so perhaps Rame set out to check if other kingdoms had suffered the same fate. So it was that he found himself in Broom Tower, a place that had once belonged to the Iron King before his fall. It was common knowledge that the Iron King had taken no queen, so what Rame found there must have chilled him and confirmed his fears about Nashandra. The entire tower had been enveloped by a black fog.
Justin.
It repelled any who came close,
big sword
haunting
big
suits
sword.
of armor and fighting off any soldiers who attempted to enter. However, Rame was not most soldiers. A stalwart warrior, Rame had the ability to expunge the black fog. He was strong, and tracked the black fog to its source at the base of the tower. Amongst the remnants of a past kingdom covered in ash was Nadalia, the Ashen Maiden. Nadalia arrived at this tower seeking a king, but was too late. The king she sought had already sunk below the molten iron, and his rule had passed. Dispirited, this child of dark made Broom Tower her home,
not finding
in
what they
the
were
place
looking for.
she might have ruled alongside her king. Perhaps Rame's original intent was to banish Nadalia, the Dark Queen of Broom Tower. If he could do this, then he could return with proof to his kingdom and make his king see the truth. At some point after entering Broom Tower, though, this changed. Just like Rame, Nadalia was deprived of a king and kingdom. Perhaps they found some mutuality in this, for Rame decided to trust this child of dark, allowing her to cling to his sword in her miasmic form. Rame was reborn, granted true purpose under a newfound mother rather than a regal father. Which begs the question, could such a queen be evil, or was Rame another victim?
Wait a second.
Her decided to trust this child of dark, allowing her to cling to his sword in her miasmic form. Rame was reborn.
So that's the Iron King sword that he's wielding? Because, yeah, he pulls it out of the ground in the dark. Long days, pleasant nights. ASSDD. Is that like the old molten, like, Iron King sword that's getting pulled out there? Fume Ultra Greatsword. They are very persuasive, these ladies. They are. Damn, they are. I don't think so.
Granted true purpose under a newfound mother, rather than a regal
Not
father.
sure, really. Oh, man, I think it
the
might
question,
be...
Could such a queen be evil, or was Rame another victim of a dark queen's manipulation?
True.
After
The
Rame
sword
left Ranglade,
to which
the
the
kingdom
black fog
collapsed.
clings.
The
Oh,
giants
okay, got it.
invaded with a revenge in their hearts, and Nashandra took the throne, forcing Vendrick into hiding. Volstagg followed his king into the undead crypt, where he would guard him in darkness forever. Rame remained in Broom Tower, protecting the Ashen Maiden from harm. And then you come, seeking answers in empty kingdoms. This video is supported by Patreon.com and all of my supporters
Vati
over there.
on Patreon.
Basically,
If it's
if you don't
still
know what
there, let's leave a like. All right, we got one more. The Arkdrake Sect. That's interesting. It's a short one. I don't know what will be made to learn from the Arkdrake Sect, but all right. Bloodborne story explained. Not yet, Vati. Not yet. Not yet. And then we have the ending of the
Let's
DLC.
go down a branch of lore
and then
and see where it takes us. The point of this series is to give...
Oh, hold on. Let me get the right language here for the captions. We're in Russian right now. English. Auto-generated. Let's give it a go. So these two, the Arkdrake Sect, then the ending DLC ending explained, and then we'll do Happy Souls to conclude it. Hour 43 minutes. We'll probably end up at like 2.5 hours, I'm guessing. Maybe a little more.
Characters' meaning and depth to bring part of the story.
All the kings were massive simps, aren't we
all? You
all?
would have first noticed the Arkdrake sect as you traveled through the Shrine of Amana. Little is known about the order, though their well-honed miracles and unwavering faith in the face of death.
Wait, what? Oh. There's already a... Okay.
Made them worthy rivals to Drangleic forces in their day. The magic of the Arkdrake
Oh, I see what that was, my bad.
Drake was very powerful, especially if you versed them before the patch. These men and women were a part of a sect, which means that they are an offshoot of a larger religion or group. In this case, the Arkdrakes are a sect of Lindelt, which is a country known for its clerics and miracles. So the Arkdrakes are a small, separate religion to the main religion of Lindelt. But do you want to know what's most interesting about the Arkdrake sect? They're hiding something. The secrets of Lindelt rituals are protected by the Arkdrake sect, and only a select few are given access to their canon of knowledge, which includes the truthful origins of the Arkdrake sect itself.
Where is this again?
I think From has given us the clues to trace the Arkdrake sect's origins. It's never explicitly stated where they're from, but there are so many hints, and it all starts with the description of the shield that teases us with their origins. The Slumbering Dragon Shield. Long ago, in a city named Shulva, there was a race that discovered a great slumbering dragon, worshipped its magnificence, and perished by its side.
Yeah.
Shulva was a city founded on miracles and faith in an ancient dragon. As such, the development of its sorceries was stunted as they were considered taboo. Similarly, in Lindelt, a country known for its clerics and their miracles, sorcery was believed to be a profane practice. But as with anything, such beliefs are part faith and part front, hypocrisy. The secrets of Lindelt rituals came to be protected by the Arkdrake sect, and the fact that the two countries shared the same hypocritical distaste of sorceries definitely helps link the two together. So if the Slumbering Dragon Shield places the Arkdrakes in Shulva, then how did the Arkdrakes leave to become a part of Lindelt? Well, they must have left Shulva, and with the invasion of the Drakeblood Knights, they would have had good reason to. The Drakeblood Knights, led by Soyorg, invaded Shulva and fought with its inhabitants. These knights worshipped the blood of dragons, and they were led by Soyorg in a siege to murder Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. When the Slumbering Dragon was pierced, however, he awoke and spewed poison over all of Shulva. The Drakeblood Knights are relevant because their leader, Soyorg, has a ring that bears the crest of Drangleic, and I mention this because the Arkdrakes had a confrontation with Drangleic. The Arkdrake staff states, their well-honed miracles and unwavering faith in the face of death made them worthy rivals to Drangleic's forces in their day. So if the Drakeblood Knights are from Drangleic, then these descriptions tie in nicely together. The Drakeblood Knights invade to kill Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. The Arkdrake Knights continue to fight with faith in the dragon, even though the source of their faith is raining down death upon them. It also says, in their day, which implies that the Arkdrake Knights had a time when they stood alone, rather than as a sect. If you've watched my Prepare to Cry video on Velstadt, then you'll know that I think Velstadt of Drangleic must have existed in Shulva at some point, since there's a mirror image of him down in the depths. So, if that's true, it's likely that some Arkdrake Knights managed to leave Shulva as well, joining Drangleic with Velstadt and making their home in the holy country of Lindelt. And I'm assuming Lindelt and Drangleic are both countries under the same monarchy, for the Arkdrake Knights make their new home in the Shrine of Amana, below Drangleic Castle. And it's also worth noting that the Arkdrake Knights in Shrine of Amana are actually called Arkdrake Pilgrims, and the word pilgrim is a word with a lot of religious connotations, essentially meaning that you have to go on a quest to a distant land to prove yourself. So it could also mean that they're in Shrine of Amana because they're on pilgrimage from Lindelt. And here, in the Shrine of Amana, we find some of the biggest links to Shulva. So even if I'm wrong about how they got to the shrine, even if you don't agree with me on that, where they came from seems pretty set given all the connections. A simple observation to start with is how similar the Shrine of Amana is to Shulva. It's underground, it's dimly lit, and it's got shallow water. Actually, the perfect example is the Demon of Song room, which is remarkably similar to the Lair of the Imperfect. Speaking of the Demon of Song, Shulva and the Shrine of Amana are two places where a demon and its priestesses sing to soothe the inhabitants. Shulva had a dark queen singing with her priestesses to soothe the dragon in its slumber, and Amarna has a demon of song singing to the Milfinito to soothe the dead. For the Arkdrake Knights in Amarna, the slumbering dragon continues to be the focus of their faith, the source of their miracles. The Arkdrake shields are all inscribed with dragons as a way for the Arkdrakes to perform their rituals, and all the item descriptions that say that they keep their rituals and origins a secret say that because they are intricately tied to one another, their rituals and their origins would be one and the same. Lastly, there is a bonfire named the Tower of Prayer in both Shulva and the Shrine of Amarna, which is what I'm going to leave you guys on. So maybe this video gave you the sources to make your own story about the Arkdrake Knights. Maybe you believe that my telling of the story is right, or if nothing else, I hope I made you realize that there's more depth than you might have seen here at first glance.
Okay.
All of these connections are implied.
All right. I got you
no
there,
description
body.
concretely states that there's a connection between Shulva and Drangleic. So why do I believe it? Well, it's because this is exactly the subtle stuff From wants us to dig for. And you can say it's coincidence, but I prefer to think that there's too many connections for it to be coincidence. And after hearing me talk, you might agree or disagree.
Passion into it.
That's the beauty of it all.
There's
Just
pieces to be
pointing
put
out
together.
connections doesn't make it true. What matters is what you believe. This video relates to my Prepare to Cry on Sin, the Slumbering Dragon, and my Prepare to Cry on Velstadt, the Royal Aegis. And now that you've seen this, you'll probably understand more about those stories, and you'll understand what was going on in the background of those two tales. So go check those ones out. They're arguably a little bit better produced than this video. But enjoy, guys, and if I don't have a video out in the next few days, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and have great holidays. I'll see you next time.
Alright, yeah, that one, the Arkdrake sect just never was a highlight in, or for me, didn't pop as far as the of importance to me throughout the video. So I think I was pretty lost that entire time, to be honest with you. But what matters is what you believe. I appreciate that, honestly, with what he said there. I am going to go to the freezer for a second. I'll be right back. Best stream equals the chair. Nice. Whew. All right. How's it going? We believe in you, chair. You will survive the ice. Yeah, sorry, chair. All right, so this one's another heftier one. 18 minutes, so pauses abound. And so it's this one we'll do. Oh, this is perfect timing, too. I really like this. It's been good hanging out with you guys, by the way. It's been fun. It's been nice. I haven't been as... looking at chat as much as usual because trying to take in the lore. There's been some mind bombs here that I wasn't expecting as many of because of how much we followed the lore. Ivory King ? I'm not sure what do you mean? Ivory King lore vid, or skip that for now. Did we miss Ivory King lore? I think we hit it. Yeah, oh wait, Dark Souls 2 lore found in translation? That one's 20 minutes. Yeah, we did hit Ivory. Oh, wait. Oh, Iron King. Wait, hold on. You're right. Is there one for Ivory King? It exists, but it's not in the playlist. Okay. Hold on. Ivory King. That's an important one. How could I forget that one? Thank you, guys. Nice. Oh, okay, and it's a perfect length, too. Okay.
I still think on that creature from the abyss.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, you know what we might do, guys? Instead of the ending of the DLCs, we might do Ivory King and then Lucatiel to end it. I think we do Lucatiel to end it. Please end on Happy Souls. Absolutely. What I mean is for lore vids. So we go Ivory King, Lucatiel. Oh my God, Lucatiel. We almost missed Lucatiel. Oh my God. And then Happy Souls. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Wait, what? Dark Souls 2, the first sin explained? Hold on, 10 years ago. Would that be... I don't want it to explain anything... Oh, no. This is all 10 years ago. You can't miss Lucy? True. Very true. The first sin explained. Is that just all the additions that would be from the first sin version? I don't know. Oh my God, Happy Souls DS2 is so peak. I got a lot of suggestions for it. A lot of... That's funny. I just mentioned being a fan of... what's his name? Ronald McDonald? Anyway. Anyway. It's an Aldea lore video. I think we have... Okay, I'm going to call it on the Ivory King, because it is a longer one. The Ivory King. We might need another lore stream. Maybe for fun. One of these days. Ivory King. Lucatiel to finish. Feels very, very nice. And then Happy Souls. Or more Prepare to Cry for NPC. Yeah, we'll end it here for those. Lucatiel is DS2. No. What I meant is... Whoa. Whoops. Sorry about that. I didn't want the first sin to explain anything from DS3 because you guys had told me, I remember when we were looking at DS1 lore videos, to not watch a certain videos because they were actually made after DS3, so they explained more with that context. Just knowing that we want to avoid
I
those.
still think on that creature from the abyss that preyed upon me. My faculties were far from lucid, but I quite clearly sensed certain emotions. A wrenching nostalgia, a lost joy, an object of obsession, and a sincere hope to reclaim it.
Got it.
Could these thoughts belong to the beast from the abyss? But if that were true, then perhaps it is no beast after all.
4 queens remain in empty kingdoms, all of them fragments of this creature that was vanquished long ago. We have seen examples of their evil in what remains. One stands alone in the ruins of her home. Another rose from the ashes of a lost kingdom. And yet another gained the love of her king and used it to force him into a dark corner where he would forever think on his mistakes. But you will hear the tale of a 4th queen before the end of this story, and she will make you question everything that you have previously held true.
Oh, this is so important.
Elsana, Queen of the Ivory King,
thank you guys,
also stands alone in an empty kingdom.
You, approaching Alea Lois, turn back. This dead city has nothing to offer.
She's just
Go back. Do not seek the old chaos, nor its twisted flame.
Why do we build walls?
We should have known
There are
then and
2
there.
reasons. The first is more common. It's to protect something precious.
Yeah.
But the second is much more rare and much more terrifying. It's to keep something from getting out. The walls of Aleum Lois are those second kind of walls. The city is a Pandora's box, built to contain one of the most ancient evils the world ever knew. The Chaos. The Chaos did not always exist. It was born of fear and desperation long ago in the Age of Lords. Theirs was the earliest civilization, built upon the first flame ever to be. 4 powerful beings derived their strength from this flame, for it gave them souls. 1 soul of dark, 1 of light, a soul of death, and a soul of life. Inevitably, this first flame began to dwindle, and so too did the Lords. The Witch of Izalith, with great power over flame, thought to focus the power of her life soul to create a new flame, a second flame that could replace the first, so that their age would not end. So the witch and her daughters initiated this ritual, but something went wrong. The flame she created was too powerful, and she failed to control it. This was the birth of chaos. The witch and her sisters were either killed or malformed, and the witch herself became the bed of all chaos, deep below Izalith, a city lost to the twisted flame. Countless demons spewed forth from the inextinguishable chaos, infesting Izalith until the land was overrun. Lifetimes later, the bed of chaos would be defeated, but not destroyed, and after the rise and fall of many civilizations, the chaos rose again, in the country of Ferossa, on a barren plain where Aleam Lois was to be built. The Ferossans were the ones who dealt with the chaos, for it had erupted on their land. Ferossans are famed for their god of war, valuing valor and combat prowess. Notable men of Ferossa were shieldless Lathian, who grew tired of the frailty of human foes and set off to slay dragons. There was Vengal, the mad beast of the battlefield, who claimed the heads of countless enemies, and there were the Ferossan Lion Knights, feared for their nimble two-handed swordplay. But the highest-ranking knight, and the most famed of them all, was the Ivory King of Ferossa. After taking his crown, they say he was the first to swing his sword in times of need, be it for his homeland or for his people.
Damn.
And his sword was required far to the north, for the old chaos had resurfaced there once more.
He just
This
went
land
because he
is
heard
barren,
people were in trouble?
cursed by the old chaos. It gave birth to atrocities,
Wait, this wasn't
and the
even his
people
land when
fled
he went?
in fear. Until our Lord, the Ivory King, came.
With his sword, his soul, and his Lois Knights, the Ivory King fought back the chaos. When it was contained, they built Aleam Lois, a vast rampart city.
Holy
Golems
shit.
patrolled the walls, given life by the Ivory King, and they were charged with the containment of the creatures of the chaos within. A cult of priestesses was formed, who devoted themselves to a ritual that appeased the ancient flame. The king himself erected his throne at the very entrance to chaos, for he wished to serve as the first line of defense. Any creature of chaos that threatened his city would have to pass him first, and the king would not falter. It was here, in Aleam Lois, that the Ivory King took a queen, Alsana. It appears she was a woman of great power, for she possessed the same talent as the priestesses did, and she quelled the chaos flame below. Together, in a city cut off from the rest of the world, and facing constant peril, they were wed, and they stood together despite the hardship. Like the other queens before her, Alsana was born of dark. She wed her king out of selfishness, for she saw that the king of Ferossa was strong, and intended to find safety by his side. Nevertheless, the Ivory King loved her, and supported this child of the abyss even as he fought against the flames of chaos. Two ancient evils weighed upon the king, one in front of him and one at his side, but even so he weathered them both, for himself and for his people.
Damn,
There is evidence that having a child of dark by his side weighed upon the king. He had 7 pets, and 2 are found in the outskirts of Aleam Lois, tasked with the mercy killings of those who were exiled from the city. Lud and Zalan are great cats, brothers of Ava, a tiger that remains in the city itself. The 2 outside are cursed with a dark aura, and one has to wonder whether they became this way due to the presence of Alsana, for they are kept out of sight where none would report on their true nature or what the child of dark was doing to those who stood beside her. Inevitably, there came a moment where the Ivory King sensed the degradation of his own soul. In this moment, he made a decision. He would not run from chaos, rather he would give himself to chaos in order to appease the flame. Without a word, he left his home, he left his wife, and he left his country, but not without one final act. For before he set off to strike at the heart of chaos, he entrusted everything to Alsana. Upon his parting, he handed her Aleam Lois, the city, and a ceremonial blade by its namesake. The twin blades of Aleam Lois, one light and one dark, were entwined as the Ivory King and his dark queen once were. He knew Alsana was a child of dark all along, but he said nothing. He believed her to be more than the sum of her parts, and so she was. The king's belief in the queen allowed her to rise above her dark nature. It was his final gift to her. But then he left, never to return.
God!
Inevitably, the king was drained of vigor and plunged into the chaos's heart. Aleam Lois was frozen in time.
Holy shit.
Its leader lost. I remain here to contain the chaos, honoring my lord's wishes. Though I am yet to know your name, stranger, will you lend me your strength? I have but one wish. That my dear lord might be free from that unspeakable chaos. Many of Elaeum Lewis's faithful knights followed their lord into the chaos. The king's dutiful subjects waited patiently for his homecoming, but it was too long a wait to bear. The knights, reborn, will follow your word. The path to chaos is now open. And please, do all you can.
Chaos claimed the Ivory King, and many knights of Lois. Many were burned along with their lord, and to this day they burn in agony alongside their once proud king, lacking all sense of self, and driven only to expunge those who might disturb the flame, even former compatriots. But those who survived fight with us now, commanded to strike down their former comrades and their own king. Their sacrifice is total, and they freeze the portals so that we may face Chaos's new champion. What makes a king? Some say that it is birthright, while others call it destiny. Perhaps it is not important, as long as the king's name serves to unite his people. The Ivory King was the greatest king we have seen so far. His sacrifice saved the world from chaos, and he was not changed by the Child of Dark at his side. In fact, she alone remains, despite her fearful nature, and watches over chaos out of respect for her lord. Such was his influence over her. For Alsana, we free the Ivory King's soul from the grip of chaos.
You've granted my one wish.
Holy shit.
My dear lord has departed. Now,
so glad I
have no regrets. I was born amidst the dark. Long ago, in the depths of the abyss, my father perished.
Body was inspired with this one.
The dark shattered into tiny pieces, one of which was me. How frightened I was. A frail thing, born from but a splinter of dark.
He was like,
I felt that I might simply disappear. I am, in fact, the incarnation of my father's fears. I saw that the king of this land was strong. I sought him only to sustain myself, to smother my fears. Now, I realize that he may have known all along. I was born of fear, and my lord provided comfort. And so, here I remain, heiress to my lord's wishes, watching over chaos. Until the end of time. My father, once human, succumbed to dark, and later set in motion its raging advance.
Damn, Cake.
The dark wanders, guided by its thirst for souls. But perhaps man is no different.
Damn, dude. Damn. Damn, dude. These two's story gets me every time. Like, it's the fact that, and the twig is what got me. The twig thing, like that sword that was like light and dark, and he's like, this is like us two. this is, you're not wrong, but it still cracked me up when I read it. With the Rat King being second. It, like, where he gave her that and said, please take care of my kingdom. Here's light and dark like us. I knew all along you were, well, he didn't say it to her because she says, I believe he knew all along. And then, the way he just changed her. Where can I find this sword? I have no idea, dude. Man, these allergies. Speaking of allergies, dude.
If a person's identity depends on qualities that can crumble, he or she is in danger of despair, for without a sense of self we are nothing, and the world is unmoved by our existence.
Okay.
If everything should fade, what will be left of me?
Damn,
we live in fear of this loss of self, our existential crisis.
Yeah.
I'm
exactly.
called Lucatiel. I come from Mira, a land of knights. My sword is always ready.
There is only one way up in Mira. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle.
My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself. With two things. My sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature.
And then I came here to...
Who are you?
We came to Drangleic seeking answers. Our flesh, like many others of humanity, is branded with the dark sign of the undead. While marked, an undead's memory of their humanity will fade, until only a hollow husk remains. Undeath robs us of our past, and in doing so, it robs us of our fate.
What an amazing theme.
Lucatiel was marked, and she bears it with shame, for it forced her out of her homeland. Across many kingdoms, the appearance of this curse and those who bear it has been met with fear and hatred. The King of Iron bound the undead in chains and tortured them endlessly. The current King of Light did much the same, sending them to an inescapable Bastille. It is not so strange to think that the land of Mira would have reacted in much the same manner, damning Lucatiel if it was ever discovered what she had become.
Have you heard of the undead?
Can't hear you.
These poor souls affected by the curse.
An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely.
Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others.
You were quiet? Oh. Maybe the mic was too... Can you hear me now? Sorry.
And a hollow can never be human again.
Just a tad quiet compared to the video. Yeah, the video is a little loud. Sorry. Noise? Okay, yeah, I just took the mic too far. Sorry, guys.
One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true. I can only hope that they are.
The mask hides Lucatiel's shame. It is said that Drangleic holds the souls that can cure the curse. Many adventurers rose to the call, some driven by greed, others by desperation. For Lucatiel, Drangleic holds salvation.
I found my thoughts growing hazy. My memories are fading, oldest first. The curse is doing its work upon me. I am frightened. Terribly so. If everything should fade, what will be left of me?
Existential despair. The curse took her knighthood, the thing she devoted her life to. Lucatiel's self was based on her prowess as a knight and her loyalty to her lord. Forced to leave for Drangleic, what does she have left?
True. The dark sign, the only thing you have is your purpose. Fighting against hollowness. And because of where her dark sign was placed on her, she lost her purpose because everybody feared the dark sign. Oh my god, dude, that's tough. Like, it's such a unfortunate domino effect. She was stripped of her purpose, which helps her fight the dark sign because of the dark sign literally on her face.
She will lose herself, given time. She will lose that which made her what she is.
Oh, you... My thoughts are very scattered. What is this curse? The question rings in my mind, but I haven't the focus to answer it. Loss frightens me no end. Loss of memory, loss of self. If I were told that by killing you I would be freed of this curse...
This line hit.
Then I would draw my sword without hesitation. I don't want to die. I want to exist. I would sacrifice anything at all for this. It shames me, but it is the truth. Sometimes I feel obsessed with this insignificant thing called self. Even so, I am compelled to preserve it. Am I wrong to feel so? Surely you do the same in my shoes. Maybe we're all cursed from the moment we're born.
All of us face this same despair. Cursed or not, there is no meaning in the world, beyond what meaning we give it. Despite this, we seek meaning. For a life free of purpose simply means that we are able to imprint our own. We are all a product of our past, and this shapes our future. But an undead is doomed to lose his past, and thus fated to be robbed of his future. Lucatiel has one hope, to find her past and recover who she was.
I had an older brother. We learned to fence together. He became the most decorated swordsman in all of Mirror. I never even compared to him.
This is in
fact, I never beat him. Not once.
But
then, one day, he was gone. Lost without a trace. Now I'm certain that he was taken by the curse. If only someone would hear my tale. My brother must have come here, too. Soon I may forget even about him.
An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others.
You... What's become of you?
Lucatiel of Mirror.
Oh,
she was so
my
close.
Dear brother.
Oh.
I won't die in this foul place.
She found him?
You... Who are you? Oh... No, forgive me. I know you. Yes, of course.
She found him.
How goes your journey?
We find Lucatiel here after her help in countless battles and right before her finding her brother.
Oh, before.
It is assumed that they have fought, but it is not known. Perhaps she never met him. Perhaps it's better that way, for he has lost himself and attacks others to rob them of their humanity. Regardless, Lucatiel never progresses further, so it is here, outside of Aldia's keep, that her journey ends.
I know not what you seek in this faraway land, but I pray for your safety. My name is Lucatiel.
There it is.
I beg of you remember my name, for I may not myself.
Existential despair is a universal human condition. There is no meaning in the world, and yet we seek it insatiably. Hey guys, if you liked that video, then you can click the bonfire and become a part of the small group that supports
Honestly, that just fucking... Oh, that just... There is no meaning to this world except for the meaning we give it. That just like... It's a gut punch. Pause counter 37. That's a gut punch, dude. How much time are we at? We're at 2:19. How long is the Happy Souls video, guys? There's no meaning in the world, and yet we seek it insatiably. True, Aldia said that too. Yeah. So sad. Like 15 minutes? That is perfect. All right. I think 20 minutes. Okay, that's a good one. All right, let's do it. Happy Souls, let's go. That's a good way to end it. That'll be perfect timing. An hour and 40... Wait, 145 minutes? All right, perfect. Oh, 15 minutes? All right. Happy Souls. Let's go. Is it Happy Souls 2 or just Happy Souls? Is this the one? 33 million? Dark Souls 2 Bring a Buddy Edition. This is it, correct? Yeah, because you guys told me to stop. I watched it. I started watching it. You guys like, no. All right. Okay, but we find right after the last time we see Lucatiel, he is wearing clothing and a mask exactly like Lucatiel's. True. Sorry, Wugsy, my tiny finger managed to hit 2 keys at once. Hey, no worries, Tigro, no worries. All right, guys. Happy Souls it is. Let's go. Let's do it. Pause counter 38. A nice end to this video.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's do this. Dark Souls has trained us well. I know, right? Looks like they made this game easier so casual players can play. Yeah. Oh!
Okay. I remember this. This like first 30 seconds where you guys like, shut it off. No.
Holy shit.
Is this too easy for you?
Yeah, ending on a light note.
You know, I actually think the game seems pretty challenging.
I'll see you later.
So true.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Pate. I'm your friend, maybe
pretty
not.
Close.
If you're up in that
This dude's giving off a really bad vibe,
blah, blah,
so I think we
blah.
should kill him.
I'm going
Wait.
back.
You gave us a soapstone.
Evil.
Solaire gave us a soapstone.
Evil.
So this guy's like the new Solaire, you know?
Listen to me.
Yeah, you're
I'm
probably
going to
right.
kill you later on.
Oh, fucking boy. Oh, okay. All right. Lightning unlocked? Wait, what? Oh, this is for people that are smart and play with, before it was nerfed. Oh, okay. No Man's War. Faith-filled. Oh, faith. That's it. Got it. I never experienced that. Ooh.
Try thruster. Ambush behind. Amazing shit. What? Woman in short for the try time butt. Horse butt? What?
Yeah, that's Souls players. You didn't
Check
use
it out.
lightning?
I'm a baby
Sure.
bird. That's pretty good. Buddy!
Wait, did we? Yes, I did do that. I did do that. Perfect.
We run and we explode.
I love these guys so much. Not so much.
You think you can handle my spells? You know, you sound a lot like our old friend Frampt.
Yeah, he does sound like Frampt.
I don't know what you're talking about. Here, eat this. Well, I'm not really hungry. It is Frampt.
Oh, it's good to see you, Frampt.
Oh, what the fuck? We run it, we explode. Yo, Belfry Luna.
You wish to guard the bell?
No,
Yeah, that sounds really lame, so I think we're gonna pass.
You're gonna regret that.
Blood fart? And rotten sausage? Alright, it's 2-on-2. It's a fair fight.
I think this was my first NPC death. Or, no, player death.
Alright, it's 2-on-1. It's gonna be an uphill battle. I'm sorry. Very good.
Oh, are those the Gallstones? The Bastille was the first time I really fell in love with DS2.
Hey, do you know how to beat this boss? Yeah, I've beaten him before. Just follow my lead. Sounds good.
Be free, my master.
Find some cover. We gotta move
took
up.
me like 2 or 3 tries to get the what was supposed to happen here.
All right, let me in.
I don't think there's enough room for 3 people in here.
All right, very funny. Now make some room.
No, seriously, look how tight these walls are.
Yeah, you gotta find another spot. I would, but I don't have enough time.
If you leave now, you probably have enough time.
I've beaten him, and I'm telling you that I don't.
Really, we'd let you in, but there's just no room.
I disagree. Now let me in.
You gotta find another spot.
No time.
I'm waiting.
Just find another spot. No time.
Just find another spot.
I do not have enough time. I just wanted the soul.
Damn. Rip Fangirl. You missed this experience?
Hey, this place
Fair.
looks pretty cool. I wonder if there's gonna be a... Buddy? Buddy?
Where does Buddy go?
Moving box.
What the heck? I never did this either.
Box? That's
Oh, bro,
amazing.
leveled up ADP. Yo, Matty.
Hello. May I share with you the lore of this land? Yeah, let's hear it. I know it's hard to believe, but we're actually standing at a long... Why did you do that? No, that was my fault. Please leave a bad player review on my name, so I may learn from my mistakes.
Wait, where is this?
You
That's
know, I
supposed to be-
actually feel kind of bad.
You should! He was just trying to tell us the lore of the land.
Well, I didn't know that
You
before.
big, fat, sticky green jerk.
Hey, that's my physical appearance. That hurts really bad. Oh my god!
Is this Harvest Valley? What Scooby-Doo shit is this? I wish I used that spell, dude. It is. Okay. That was Anor Londo. What?
You will not proceed!
Trademark? Smart?
Gandalf! No!
Shaded Woods? Yes. Right?
Oh, jeez.
It's 2-on-1, pal. Give it up.
Is this cheaters?
I think we're lost.
DS2PvP.
Look, when I hit the tree, it makes a funny noise.
This was actually me.
Can you not hit that tree? Why is everyone stabbing me in the back?
Cause it's easy.
True.
It does a lot of damage.
True. It's called 200 ping. Gotcha.
Ow! Thank you for saving me.
No problem.
I don't have anything with me, but if you meet me in my house, I've got boss weapons.
Did you say boss weapons?
Boss weapons.
Where do you live?
Right down the road. Can't miss it.
Right down the road.
Right down the road.
Guess we'll see you there.
Yep.
Yo, true.
Right down the road.
Right down the road. Right down the road.
Right down the road. I forgot they said that. No way.
Yeah.
Can't miss it.
Put in. Hey, a guy.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's really hot.
You gotta be more careful, buddy.
I've got boss weapons. I missed this too. Night Solaire, Emmy Harold.
You don't suppose that's just a regular frog?
Oh!
I actually like the design of this boss. Okay.
I like seeing giant bones of creatures, because then you can, like, picture what it was like before it turned into giant bones.
You phrased that really weird, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
True. That scared me again. Wait, what?
There's a giant hole here.
Whoa! No!
Yo, screw this stuff.
Oh! What is this yellow goo?
Get out of it, dude. Get out of it.
It smells so bad.
Oh, come on!
Please tell me this is the end.
Oh, I did not like that place.
That hallway?
Everything hurts.
What's that?
This is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let's check it out.
That was such a beautiful view.
It's not a bird, it's actually a dragon.
Did Aldia make this one too?
Maybe we can sneak around it. Nope, that doesn't work.
Damn, this creator loved this game. This is awesome.
I think we should get out of here.
Yes, please. I don't want to fight any more dragons.
Let's go.
Do you think he's going to follow us?
Just calmly walk away.
This is a choice. This order they're doing things here. Crypt. Oh damn, we're here.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the
lightning. Wait.
Kind of makes me want to use miracles.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Our souls are free.
Why are you being so dramatic?
I don't know. It just felt like that took a really long time.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a long game. It's a good long game.
What do we do now?
Want to play through again?
Hey, let's go. Miracle Run when? On stream for sure. Hey, let's go. I missed a few of that. You guys are right. I do not play what do you call it? Co-op enough actually, but all right, guys. I think that's it. That's all. That was pretty funny. Makes me want to play co-op more. That inspired me weirdly to play a Miracles build. W stream. Hey, it was good to get. There were so many good parts of the lore that like made me understand the proper context of events. I appreciate and love the lore board because there were so many things that I did know. That was really nice. And just getting like the impact right on some of those parts. That was really nice. It is the silliest and very fun. Nice. All right, guys. So the DS3 video will be next Friday. It will be next Friday. Not this Friday, unfortunately. You should play New Game Plus. I definitely will. I'm so glad you love this game. This was also the first game where I really got into the lore. I had my own lore notebook. Nice. That it gets so much hate. I love your playthrough. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck with your healing. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate another stream, Wugs. Good night, all. Good night, everybody. And, yeah, so, hey, my tags for today. Hey, Fra and Tigro, thank you guys so much. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Fra, damn, dude, thank you. Thank you both so much for the Kool-Aid. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of, it was a good close as well to this playthrough. And yeah, I'll see you guys in DS3 next week, but I'll also see the members on Sunday for a member stream, and on Monday I'll see you for Dark Souls 1 SL1. Thank you for watching these at the end. Hey, no worries. Made my day. Hey, thanks, Nico. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good week. And I'll see you next one. Bye, guys.